Testing, testing. All right, now that looks like Brian.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
No.
Why not? Why can't you hear him?
Well, oh, did you say, did I want to hear him? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that right.
Pick up. Can't hear you.
Testing A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I
Yep.
hear you.
Oh, okay. Good.
Oh, you're beautiful.
Yep.
There's Mr. Bowser.
Hey, Mr. Bowser.
Howdy.
Let me see something here. Oh, it's too late.
Evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. How close can we? There we go.
There you go. So Ralph, what's the demo?
Demo. Oh, I didn't tell you what the demo was.
No, well, you don't have to, but it'd be good.
We can guess.
Yeah.
It's
That was a hurricane. It's a
yeah.
it's an unfinished earring stem. Green screen.
nice, Bob.
How are you? Just getting set up.
Like, never mind.
Say what? I put tape over my camera.
Let's do that for.
There you go.
That's it.
To deter all those that would like to look at me when I don't want them looking at me.
Well, you just do a stop video. That's all you got to do.
Do what? Say again?
In
Stop
the left,
video.
stop video. Stop video. That way we don't see you.
Oh, no, I'm talking about people that I don't even know are out there.
That's stop video. Do a stop video.
No, he's talking about hackers who might get in and
Oh, I see.
That's what my
Yeah.
post-it note is for. So you put
Right.
that up there, and yeah.
I got one on my computer, exactly the same thing.
Or you
Yeah.
just close the lid of your laptop.
This is a desktop, not a laptop. So
That's a laptop.
Yeah.
everybody, no.
Big Glebman and Ozzy. Ozzy, how you doing?
You see my screen. That's what you can
There
see.
you go. Hello.
How you doing, Ozzy?
Good. Getting my
And then
setup here. One
over to-
second.
Take tape off
Yeah.
the camera. There you go. See, it works, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to hook it up to the TV so I could see the picture better.
Did you get it done?
No, that's okay.
There's one. You do
Yeah,
that.
did you hook it up?
Yeah. There we go. Now I can. Yeah. There we go.
How do you have that hooked up? HMDI or what?
Yeah. All I have is HDMI to from the laptop to the TV on one of the inputs, and then you have to extend the screen to whatever side you want. In this case, I do it to the right because that's where my TV is, and I move zoom over there, and now I can see everybody on the TV. And when they do the demo, I could put that large and everything. That's why I'm not looking at the laptop. I'm looking over here. Well. Oh.
There, Brian, that's good. You look good. You look better now, Brian.
Brian, looking better.
Now that's a filter.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I want one of those. I want one.
I saw some on Facebook the other day, some goggles that were kind of interesting. I'll dig up the link and send it to everybody. Only $95.
What? 95? No.
Quit catting around, Brian.
Okay.
Here we go.
Ah. So if the demo goes south, we can always look at Brian.
Yeah.
He's
He's a chicken.
whale of a picture.
Hey,
Looks like Jim Wheeler's beard.
yeah, it's my beard.
Oh my god. How is that? Is that on Zoom or is that a separate app?
That's a separate app.
Oh wow, that is funny.
Yeah, this comes with this the webcam that I bought.
Oh, okay. That is really cool, actually. There you go.
Go back to the alien.
I like the other one better.
I thought that was Brian.
And it actually motion tracks, so when you move, it moves and speaks. That's really, really cool. That'd be great if you could do like an avatar, like design your own thing.
Yeah.
I'll be done.
Yeah, yeah. What do they think of next?
Yeah, imagine that.
So Brian, if you talk, do the lips move?
I think so.
Yeah, it did a little.
Yeah, yeah. I tracked him. That's pretty cool.
Did with a cat for sure.
So everybody's going to show up next month with one of these. Nobody will know who anybody is.
That's cool.
Did they already start?
Yep.
Don't hear anybody talking yet. That's because you're talking.
Thank you.
We're mute.
Hi.
That's why you want to be muted, Jim.
Yeah.
That's better, Jim.
See, someday I hope to get a computer that it can actually have a camera and stuff on it, but none of mine do, so I'm on an iPad. Which sometimes with my finger and me trying to see what I'm doing doesn't work too well.
Yeah. There's Mr.
I'm like-
Crystal. Mike?
There's some computers on sale now because of back to school.
Video, where is it?
Ok, mas eu já tentei e fica preta.
Yeah, see, Paula, you got your hair done. That's nice.
No, are you seeing me? Because I see black here. I cannot see you guys.
No, you have your video is off. See where the video
Yeah,
is?
I'm trying to connect, but I can't. I don't know what is going on. Let's see.
What, do you have an iPad or a regular PC?
No,
Oh,
laptop.
that happened to me during school.
Well,
That
look at,
actually happened to me.
well, maybe mom needs to go back.
And
to
they'll
do-
look and
Anyway,
see.
look in the lower left-hand corner. Do you see a stop video there?
Huh?
Alex vai sempre aggiornato.
Lower left
Yeah,
hand.
I'm gonna leave again. I'm gonna try to connect again.
No, look at the lower left-hand corner. Do you see a stop video?
Uh-uh.
I guess you got to stop going.
Yeah, no, it showed like her camera was on. It's almost like something wasn't connecting.
Or maybe your
If
daughter.
if you're using a separate camera, I know that could be a problem.
Your daughter said it happened to her grade school, so I go, well.
Yeah, if that happens during school, that's got to be a pain for a kid.
Não dá. Eu tenho que entrar pelo site. Eu vou tentar pelo site.
Well, there, what? Can't see
Dentro
him
do
either.
browser.
É, melhor sair.
Uhum.
Melhor leave, não é? Mas eu ainda tô no Zoom Meeting aqui.
You might want to check your video settings. Maybe there's something that's turned off.
Yeah, I'm gonna try, because I'm using the app, I'm gonna try to use the
link?
Yeah, I went through the link, but I have like an app.
Have a Zoom wood turning meeting.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna be black the whole thing. That's okay. At least I can see you.
Well, you didn't have to fix your hair, see?
That's a good thing.
Oh, so if I do that, what if I bring you over here? Oh, there.
Looks like David Glavin said he can see everyone, but he has no video or mic.
While we're waiting, for everybody participating in the instant gallery, don't forget to send me your photos in a few days of your anything you do for the instant gallery. At brian2484@aol.com.
Or check your roster.
Hi, Joe.
I kept getting the numbers wrong on your email. The first time I tried to send you pictures, and I must have sent like 5 emails to you. I apologize if I blew up your mailbox.
We're getting a lot of static from somebody.
It sounds like they're vacuuming.
Yeah, maybe everyone should hit the mute button until you want.
Somebody vacuuming their shop? There you go. 2484.
I quit. Last time I tried.
Let me see. Let's go. What happened to the That doesn't do anything. Oh, it doesn't. Okay. Chat. There we go. That's right.
There's Nancy.
Hey, Dave Piper.
Yes.
I gotta return your gouge. I ended up buying roughing gouge from D-Way Tools.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's actually really nice. It's smaller. It's only 3/4 inch, but I was like, oh man, I really learned to use with the one you lent me. So I'll send you a message at some point to drop yours off.
Okay, that's good. Too bad that you didn't speaker to keep mine, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a lot of static. Why don't everybody turn their mute on so we get rid of the static? Very good. Nope.
No, it's going. Is that Ralph? Ralph, are you backing me?
No, I'm not back here. Hold on, let's see what happens.
Let's see who's not. Ozzy, you're not on mute. Jim, you're not on mute. There we go. Nope. Looks like we got it. How about David? No, everyone's on mute, but David Gladman, why don't you go on mute? That must have been it. Yep. Okay, looks like we got. Maybe it's me. I'm gonna get back out and go in again. That seemed to have done it.
So was it David?
Yeah, I think it was Piper.
Process of elimination.
There you go.
It's good. Looks like it's gone.
It was you.
It was you, Piper.
It was you.
Yeah, it was you.
You went away and noise went away. See that? So now you're back and the noise is back. Oh, never mind. You were just. Never mind. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it was. See?
Did you have something on or
Nope, nothing.
Hmm.
No. Huh. Wow.
That's really weird.
Let me write that down. Thanks, Steve. I'll remember that.
Sometimes
Put it on my account.
Yeah. Zoom has a noise canceling features for the microphones. If they're not turned on, it might pick up ambient noise. But they're kind of a pain because if you try to stream a video or something, then it doesn't play right.
That's what I was streaming a video. That's what. No, it wasn't.
Boy, everybody's all quiet.
We're waiting for your words of wisdom.
Oh, I don't know if I have any tonight.
We're speechless as well.
I was waiting for our I guess our host, so to speak. He's on his way. He's a day behind, it looks like.
I don't think we need that to keep going.
Well, not at this moment. Yes, that's true. So, let's see. What do we got to discuss? Not a whole lot. So no guests, it looks like. Dave, you didn't invite anybody from Broward, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay. All right, so we have no guests tonight. The usual stuff. Join the AAW. They've been sending out a lot of emails lately. I guess everybody's getting them that's a member. They're having a Zoom thing. I'm trying to remember now what it is. Women in Turning. They're doing a thing. Kimberly Winkle's doing something. So I'm not sure if it's open to everybody or just to AAW members. Probably just AAW members. So I got an email from Ron Bowser from the Deering Estate, and the Seafood Festival has been canceled for 2021, or 2020, I'm sorry, and has been tentatively scheduled for Sunday, March 28th of 2021. Don't know if we'll, don't know where we're going to be at that time. The deal was that what we did is we just let them hold on to, since we've already paid for it, we let them hold on to the money, and it's going to be applied to next year's fee for the event. I don't know if the event's going to go up in price or not. I hope not. If it is, we'll have to send them some more money, but that's the deal. That's the only event I know about at this point. Haven't heard anything out of Fruit and Spice. Haven't heard anything out of Fairchild. I seriously doubt that anything's going to happen the rest of this year, but one never knows. So that's all I got for that. I sent an email. Everybody should have gotten it. I know some of you, a lot of you newer people didn't know him, but a lot of the longtime members, Bill Lassard passed away. I guess it was last week. So Brian, we're putting together something in the newsletter for that. So I guess that's all I've got to say. Anybody got anything they want to talk about?
Yep, it's just Ralph. Gary sent us his treasury report. He's in Colorado for 2 months.
Okay.
So in the treasury, he said you and I, the ledger, we got $3,629.05. I guess that 5 cents came for the extra money Brian paid for his dues. But anyways, $3,629 what we have in the treasury.
Okay.
Send me some money so I can have a virtual picnic. Eh?
A virtual picnic, yeah.
You can watch me eat the ribs.
Well, we saved a bunch of money this year because we didn't have a picnic. That's usually good for about $600-700.
Yep.
So, anybody else got anything? Okay, awful quiet tonight.
Yes, Don.
There's
Van
Don.
Beek.
Oh, a newbie.
Yes,
Hey,
Don.
Don Vandy, I had a question. Have you heard anything about funeral services for Bill Lassard?
It was in the newspaper yesterday. At this time, there's no services. There was a thing in the Miami Herald yesterday. If you don't get the Herald, you can go online and look up the Herald and look up the obituaries, and you'll find it there. If you're not a subscriber to the Herald, you get to look at a couple of articles for free. So you should be able to look that up.
No problem. We get the Herald.
Okay. Well, it was in yesterday's paper.
Okay.
That's listed under W.O. Lassard. That's the heading.
with a
Thank
nice
you.
picture. So, anything else? So, what day is it today?
Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
You guys are doing the meeting a day early. I don't know what's up with that.
Wednesday, huh? I guess I'm glad I sent you a message.
Yeah, I'm very happy. I was convinced it was Wednesday today. People were looking at me weird.
You'll keep track now once you go back to work, right?
Yes, very soon.
Yeah, very soon. Couple of weeks, right?
Yep.
So that should be interesting.
Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, sorry. Hey, but then the paycheck starts.
Yep.
So
Got to make the paper.
make the paper, green paper. So I guess at this point, I can turn it over to you. How's that sound?
Sounds great to me if it's okay with everybody else.
Well, okay, let's see. How the heck do I do this? I gotta remember how to do this now.
You got to click on the 3 dots next to Saul's name.
3 dots. Oh, those dots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it now. Now I got it. Yeah. Okay, it's all yours now. Yeah. So,
Are you doing the presentation?
yeah, that's a funny thing. I for some reason, we can't get anybody to do any of these. Dave's been putting stuff in the newsletter that we've been sending out, and if anybody wants to, do a demo, it's really not too tough to do. They can do it from their own shop if they've got a remote camera, or if they've got a stand for their iPhone, although I don't know how well that would work. Or they could, go to my shop if they wanted. So I know Dave Freundlich was talking to me yesterday about he's going to get a remote camera and check into doing some work, doing demo from his house. He can't be with us tonight. He called me this morning and said they had sounded like he said some type of medical issue with somebody in the family. So he won't be here this evening. So you guys are stuck with me again. So
You're cool.
gee, thanks.
Second that.
So I have a unfinished project to show you because I didn't start it early enough today. I like to try and make one, at least make one of what I'm demonstrating before I get up here and try and show you how to do it. Another something I've never made before, but it's not too tough. The finial, the top is missing, so no big deal. You'll get the idea. Oh, and the holes aren't drilled. The holes aren't drilled. So anyway, this is a version of an earring stand. The base, and of course the post, and then the top, and there's supposed to be a finial up here, which will, we should get to when I show you how to go ahead and make this thing. So that's pretty much what we're going to do tonight. There's a better view of it, but you get the idea on what it's supposed to be. So it's really 4 pieces of wood that can all be cut out of the same board or plank or whatever you want to do. So what I did is I got a board here, and it's a little thicker than 3/4. I guess it's what they call a 5/4. It's almost a full 1 inch thick, about 5 inches wide. It's not real critical on the measurements. And I cut a piece off, and what you got to do is just, 5 inches wide. Obviously, you're only going to get a 5-inch circle out of it. So I measured off the end here and marked a little over 2.5, and then came down here and did a little over 2.5, and then got the center of it. Got the center mark, and then make it a little easier, I put a center punch hole in there. Can you guys see that all right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, and then take your compass, obviously, and make a circle. And then take it over to the bandsaw and cut it out. And you end up with a couple of circles for the bottom and the top. So then what you're going to do is, if you have a drill press, that's the easiest way, is to take it over to the drill press and drill a hole, appropriate size hole for your woodworm screw that comes with your chuck. And one of you want to drill, actually you can drill them both all the way through if you want. Or the bottom you can drill part way through. Just enough to catch on the woodworm screw. Kind of I'm guessing here. Then we'll go back over to the lathe and get this set up. So all the chucks that I know of come with one of these woodworm, what I call them a woodworm screw. It fits in the chuck and allows you to use it as a screw chuck, and worked quite well for this type of project. So this goes in there, and of course there's instructions that come with the chuck and videos and everything from the manufacturer on how to do this complex item. So tighten that up in there. And what I've also done, because we're not using a real thick piece of material here, and this sticks out, doesn't stick out all the way, but anyway, so what I've done is I've made a washer out of wood to screw on here.
Hey, Ralph, one thing you want to mention, not that I've done this, but when you put your room, can you back off that piece of wood?
You do what?
Take that spacer off.
Yeah.
When you put in the woodworm screw, you want to make sure that the jaws grab it. There's like a groove in there, and make sure
yeah.
that you don't want to put it around that octagon shape that's at the top.
No, that's true. That's important that you get it installed correctly in your chuck.
Otherwise, it don't work.
It don't work. And it
Not
could be
that-
dangerous because you think it's going to work and everything goes flying.
Yep.
Okay, so what Dave's talking about is you see this slot right here. Okay, the actual jaws, kind of hard to see, and I can't really zoom in anymore. The jaws, these four flats, kind of hard to see. There, they line up with the jaws. Okay, and you slide that back in there until the inside of the jaws they're slightly recessed. So and they're recessed to go into this groove. So you got to get this installed correctly, otherwise you could have an issue.
Oh, excellent. You got it.
Okay, so that needs to go in there. You don't have to kill it tightening it up. Okay, and then I made a washer, and I saw a video. You know, if you're going to be doing a larger piece than this, you know, if you're going to be doing something 8-10 inches or bigger, you might want to make a larger washer. Okay, and it gives it more to sit against. You know, just like when you're making a tenon on a piece, you get your actual strength of the tenon or the grip from the tenon by hitting the face of the jaws. Okay, and the same thing with this. This screw just pulls it up tight against the jaws. So by putting this here as a number one as a spacer, depending on the thickness of your material, plus it gives you, by having a little more diameter, it gives you a little bit better support. Okay, and what I also like to do is put a little bit of candle wax on the threads, and the manufacturer will give you the recommended drill diameter for this. But actually, depending on what kind of wood you're using, you may have to go with a larger or a smaller hole. If it's soft, crappy wood, and you drill the proper size hole, it may strip out. And if it's really hard wood, it may not even screw on, even with the wax. This washer I made out of some flooring, which I believe was actually Ipe, which is very hard. And I ended up drilling the hole like 3 drill bits larger than the recommended size before I could get it to even screw on there. So now that you got this screwed on here, I'll get my tailstock out of the way. What's that? So this is going to be the actual bottom of the base. So I want to face that thing off. Get my safety equipment on. So one of the videos I saw, the guy basically looked like all he used was a negative rate scraper to do 99% of the work on this thing. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use a bowl gouge. So let me cover this keyboard up. So there we go. Okay, flatten this out. Using the long wing of this gouge to come across here and make a real smooth cut. And then anything with a base, obviously this is the base. You kind of need to recess the base so that it'll sit flat. Otherwise, it'll rock around on you. So you basically want it sitting on the outer edge, just like a bowl. So I want to come in here and just recess this a little bit. Now, the one in one of the videos did it a little differently, but this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to take a Forstner bit.
Ralph, you're making the bottom, right?
Yes, I am making the bottom of the bottom.
Paula would like to know if you can show again the final product.
Yes.
Roughly. Thank you.
This is the 90% final product. Oh, here's the bottom. Okay. And I drilled this thing all the way through, which that's kind of cheesy looking there. You could do something with that if you wanted. Okay. So that's what we're going to do now is cut this mortise here. Okay. And here's your rim. Okay. So here's the almost the final product. Okay. So it's relatively simple. And if you were gonna, if you're making one or two, you would do it kind of like I'm doing it now. Now, where the hell is my drill bit? Oh, there it is. So I'm gonna take a 2 and a 2 and an eighth, I think. 2 and a 16th, 2 and an eighth, 2 and a quarter, whatever you got. Forstner bit. And use that to make a little recess in the bottom so that I can turn this thing around and grab it with a chuck. Now, obviously, when you're drilling, you can just slow it down. I was turning this thing about 1900. So I'm going to slow it down to a little over 3 and just come in here and make a little recess. Little more. All right. So now what you want to do is, of course, safety, get that drill out of the tailstock so you're not cutting yourself on it with your elbow. What you want to do now is go ahead and give this a quick sanding. So sand. All right, and then depending on if you wanted, you could put some finish on here at this time on the very bottom. Okay, or you just wait and finish the whole thing by just giving it a, a spray finish. Spray the whole thing after you got it glued up. Okay, so that's that. If you want to put any decoration in here, like put a line to write your name or anything, now of course is the time to do that. Okay, so we'll just make a line, 2 lines. Got this fancy tool here. It's kind of a Cindy drove the I forget what the hell she calls it, but perfect for doing this. So you can make a nice little line here, a nice little line here. Just give it a quick touch. Now you've got a place to write your name and a kind of wood. And years ago, I used to write the date, and then somebody told me, don't put dates on stuff if you're trying to sell it, because if it doesn't sell and you keep it for 3 or 4 years, people are going to pick it up and they're going to say, oh, this thing's 3 or 4 years old. It must not be any good. Nobody wants it. So I quit putting dates on my stuff quite some time ago.
Is that why you don't say your age?
I'm middle age. So I'll remove the screw. Okay. Now we're going to make it round and make a shape. So I'm just using this saying this is a 5/8 bowl gouge. Okay, so we got that round. We got it round. I'm going to bring the tool rest around just to touch this bottom corner. Put a little bevel on that reverse bevel. So now just make a shape, whatever you like. Now, what you want to do on this, you want to make sure that it's either perfectly flat or slightly dished going into the center. That way, your stem, your spindle, will sit flush all the way on the outside. Because if you have this thing domed higher in the center, then you're going to have a gap on the outside. So give that a sand, and you know, another version of this is to make the base out of a shallow bowl or a dish, and that way, aside from having the rack on top to hang the earrings, you've got a little place to put other stuff. Okay. Not put on that way, dummy. You saw that, didn't you? I tried to unscrew it off the screw chuck that's not there. So that's the base. So now we'll put the screw chuck back in. And do the top. This wood that I'm using is supposed to be, it was marked Sabaku. I think that's what it is, but I'm not 100% certain. You know, you can use anything you want. You know, you can go, you know, cut some out of some mahogany or pretty much anything you've got. Obviously, it wants to be fairly dry so that it doesn't move around. So we're going to do the bottom of the top again. Give that a quick sand. Got a little high here, so I'm going to recut that a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to turn this around. And make the shape for the top. Kind of round that over a little bit if you like. That rim, this rim is about a 1/4 inch thick. whatever, you know, whatever you like. No rules on this. So give it a little sand. Yeah, depending on what you're doing, you could put a finish on this now. Just don't get it right here in the center where you got to glue. Okay, and then what you want to do on this rim to make it easier to drill your holes is I'm going to put a line I'm using that I forget what it's called. I'll look it up. Okay, so probably about a 1/4 inch in. Go ahead and put a little line there. And if you want, you can come back and make a couple decorations here and there. Okay, so that's that. Oh, gotta get this out of the way. And now we're going to turn between centers the stem or post, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so right there. Okay, so I'm using, instead of taking the chuck off, I've got I know most of you have seen this before. This is a spring-loaded spur center that's made to go in the chuck. Okay, and this has this square flange on it. Okay, and it has these flat spots just like the screw did. So those flat spots line up with the actual jaws, and these corners go between the jaws. You have to open the jaws up enough for this to go back in, and this flange actually goes behind the jaws, sits on the body of the chuck and goes behind the jaws. Okay, you don't have to kill it tightening it. You're not going to compress it all. Okay, so then we're going to take a square piece of wood, whatever length you like, you know, for making the stand. There's no rules. Obviously, you want it to be something visually pleasing. Okay, so a little punch in the center. Obviously, if you're not comfortable thinking you can get it centered by eye, then obviously take a straight edge and mark an X across there and use that to get your center. And then we'll bring this on up. Go ahead and make this round with a roughing gouge, a spindle roughing gouge. For spindle work, not for faceplate work, not for doing bowls. You can rough down the outside of a small bowl with one of these, but it's not for going around the corner and trying to hollow out a bowl. You get in serious trouble. Check your clearance.
What does it mean, Saul?
The what?
Oh, that is a dog.
Yeah. Not me.
Obviously, if you're not comfortable moving that tool rest while you're got the lathe running, then shut the lathe off. Okay. So I'm going to make a shape. I don't know what shape, just a shape. Using a spindle gouge. You can use the bowl gouge too, but or you can use a skew.
No.
Question?
Does anyone have a question?
I thought I heard somebody say something.
No.
I want to switch back to this roughing gouge so I can move a lot of material quickly up here at the top. Okay, give that a little thing. And again, if you're not comfortable doing this, I do it on the back side. You know, they always tell you to remove the tool rest out of the way when you're sanding so you don't get your fingers caught in there. But if you're doing production work, you don't have time to do the tool rest all the time. And a lot of time, depending on what you're making, the tool rest is locked in place, and that's it. So now what we'll do is we will come down here to the bottom and I'll use my parting tool and a 1/2-inch wrench as a gauge. Now, the way I hold this, I don't know if you can see this. I get the tool right here, support it with my forearm, and put my finger out to kind of guide it, gives me, you know, steadiness. And that way I can just one-hand this tool in. Now I know most of you guys are writing it, so you would do the same thing, you know, like that. And then you have to reach around. Okay.
Ralph, can you lower the camera?
Sorry, guys. Do this again. I'll do it right-handed. Okay, that wrench just drops right over there, 1/2-inch wrench. That gives you the tenon. And you might want to just take a smidge off. Okay. And then what you also want to do right here on the underside is you want to undercut that just ever so slightly. So that it will, you know, that was the reason I said to slightly dish the where this sits so that it's not humped up. And the same thing here is if you undercut this so that the rim is actually further down than the center, that way you know it's going to sit tight and have a good tight joint, you know, visually joint. Okay, so that's that. So then we got to come up to the top and do the same thing, make another tenon. So I'm going to say, we'll just do it right somewhere along here. Got a little too loose. No, that'll be all right. Okay. So now we've got our 10 on each end. Now I'm going to take a thin parting tool. Those marks were from the last demo showing something about cutting that material out of the way for a different type of cut. So I'm going to take most of this material out of here. I don't want to part this all the way off because I'm under compression with the tailstock. I want to get close. Pop that off. Okay, so now we've got the centerpiece, which will go in the base. Then we got to drill a base first. So set that aside, and we will make the finial. Okay, which I already started. I've got a small finial. Finials I like to do in a chuck. To me, it's easier. So what I'm going to do is pull this chuck off. Now, I'm not sure if this little chuck, if I made the tenon too small for this or not. We'll find out in a second. Oh, looks like it fits. I don't know how that happened, but anyway, that fits. So, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and bring the tailstock up just for some support to get started. And what I've done is I'm going to use the live center without the center pin so that I don't have a big hole in there that I got to deal with. I've already got a little bitty one from the center punch when I started it, but don't do that. That's what I get for getting in a hurry.
Earring holder, necklace holder.
Just facts. I don't want facts.
Just the copy.
Huh?
Copy.
That's what I'm trying to look for. A copy. Okay, copy. Okay.
One
This is
black.
story. Copy. Okay. Okay.
Present.
You're waiting to see. Okay.
Manner.
I'm just looking at my insurance because I hadn't done it for this for a while.
And copy.
Yeah.
And
All right, get the tailstock out of there, finish that top. Okay, give that a little sand. Now you could also in the stem and this finial, if you wanted, you could burn some lines in there with a wire. You know, I like to sometimes use that pointy tool. Can't remember the name of it. Anyway, it'll give you a little just touch. That way your wire's not jumping. Okay, so now we want to make a tenon on the bottom of this. You go in that hole. Same process with the wrench for sizing. Okay, that's that. Very simple. Little sand. Now again, on this base, you want to undercut that ever so slightly so that it sits flat. I can't see what the hell I'm doing. So I'm going to wing it. So I'm just using a little parting tool. You just go in there and undercut that just ever so slightly. Okay, and then I'll just go ahead and part this thing off. Just light touch with a finger. Nothing to it. So there we have a top. So now I'm going to go back over to the drill and drill out those holes. Obviously, if you don't have a drill press, you can use a hand drill and drill them out. What you want to do when you're drilling these is you want to put a piece of wood underneath them so that when the drill breaks through, it doesn't tear the bottom out. So we're not done yet, though. Okay. Because around the rim, where that line is, you have to drill a series of holes to hang the earrings in. So how the heck are we going to do that? Anybody got any ideas?
One at a time.
There you go. Right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. There's several ways to do this. One way to do it is, while it is still mounted on the screw chuck, is to, and I don't have one, but I saw an attachment that one of the guys had made, and it actually goes in the tool post. Okay, so you remove the tool rest, and he had a piece of wood that came up out of the tool rest, and it had a hole drilled in it. And then that hole was sized to where he had a metal bushing. Okay, and he would set the height of that, obviously with center line of the spindle. Okay, so now you've got a post sticking up with a guide so you can put a drill bit through there. And then if your lathe has indexing, obviously you would figure out how many holes you want and use your indexing feature on your lathe to do this hole, obviously evenly spaced around the perimeter. That's a $5 word there. Actually a $10 word. That's one way to do it. Okay, another way to do it is a jig that one of the guys had made, and he's a production turner. So when he does these, he'll probably make 50 or 100 of these, you know, to sell. And so he's set up to do production work. And he has a jig, which you'll see in the video I'll send out either tonight or tomorrow. And it'll be a link to it also in the newsletter, where this actually clamps down on top of a jig that he had made that looked just like a saw blade. It had teeth, and it's on a pivot, and he clamps it to the drill press table, and he drills a hole, and it clicks to the next notch, drills a hole, clicks to the next notch with the jig that looks like a saw blade. Well, obviously for one or two of these, I'm not going to go through all that crap. Okay, so, and the indexing on my lathe, this Powermatic, that's one of the only features I don't like about this particular model Powermatic is the indexing on this thing is a pain in the ass to use. It has 3 capped holes over here, one here on the top, another one here, and another one down here. And of course, there's corresponding holes in the spindle shaft. And what you have to do is screw this screw in there to where it lines up with a hole in the spindle. And you drill your hole or do your flute or whatever you're going to do with your indexing. And then you have to back this out, rotate it to the next one, screw it back in, do whatever you're going to do. Very, very time consuming, and you can't see the holes in here. So you either have to kind of do it by feel and count the holes. And there's, I believe, a chart that you have to print out. It tells you in this position, if you go so many holes at so many degrees, And in this position, so many holes is so many degrees, and so on and so on. So it's just a pain in the ass is what it is. There's a company that makes an index wheel that will go over the spindle and stick out here, okay, that has all the degrees on it, and then you just make something to clamp onto your bed to line it up, and that's a lot easier. Okay, the other way to do it, if you're just going to make one or two, is that amazing thing called mathematics. And what you need to do is figure out the length of this circle, okay, where you run this little groove in here for your center line for your holes. So you need to figure out how long that line is, okay, obviously the circumference of that line, and then divide that by how many holes you want, and that'll give you a dimension that you can set a pair of dividers at whatever dimension it is, and then of course just set your dimension, and you'll put this in the groove, and you'll mark, and then you'll pivot to the next one and mark, and just walk all the way around and mark out all your holes all the way around, and then go back and drill them on a drill press, or drill them by hand if you don't have a drill press. So obviously I'm not going to do that tonight because that's a little too fiddly for now. So that pretty much does it for this demo. Yes.
Does that chuck you have on now, does that have an index ring on it?
Pardon?
The chuck you have in there now, does that have an index ring on it?
It does. It does have an index marks on it.
Cool.
This chuck does.
Yeah, I know. Older ones don't. Some of the new ones do.
Yeah, some of them do. You know, the one-ways don't. I'm not sure if the Vic marks do. But this one, you can, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can sort of see it. The marks back here that can be used for indexing. So, you know, what you could do is actually get some type of stand, magnetic stand to sit on your bed here and come up with a pointer. And, you know, there's all kinds of ways to do it. You know, if you were going to do production, obviously the way to do it would be the way, the guy's name is Steve Jones, he's over in England. I don't know if any of you, those of you that are on Facebook, on the wood turning Facebook, know who Steve Jones is. He's the guy that posts all the videos of making spindles with a skew. And it's amazing to watch him work. So, you know, so he does production work. So he may make, I don't know, 50 or 100 of these to, you know, either sell in consignment shops or, you know, I don't know if he sells at fairs, or I doubt he does. He probably doesn't. But, you know, he may have work. You know, he may have customers that order. Well, he does have customers that order. They order spindles from him all the time. So he may have, you know, like a jewelry store or something that may order a bunch of stands from him, you know, to sell. So that's, you know, come to think about it, I don't know how well these would sell, but they might. Any other questions?
Hey, Ralph, I have a question.
Yes.
If instead of drilling the holes for the earrings, what if you use like little brass hooks? Could you hang necklaces off of
Sure.
a thing like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you could, you can do anything you want with it. You could turn little short spindles and put on there and put rings on it. Or like the other one I said, instead of making the base, like making the base like that, this does have a little bit of a dish to it, but actually I saw one that one guy made, and it's just a shallow bowl, just a bowl. So you can put, you could put rings or other stuff in there.
Ralph.
There's a variety of ones on YouTube. I'll pick out a few of them and, send them out.
Ralph, can I get fake ears and hang them from there, and then
Yeah,
put the earrings on the
can.
fake ears?
Absolutely.
All right.
You could get some clown ears.
All right, there we go. Or I could put some noses. We could put nose rings.
Yeah, you could do that. Nose rings. You could hang nose rings.
I'll stop there.
Okay. You want to stop?
No, I'll personally stop there.
Okay. All right. I don't want to know anything more.
So do we do show and tell, Ralph?
We're in mixed company. We can't go any further with that part. Yes, I think we should do that.
All right, guys, I'll take it from the top of my screen, and I'll go one by one. If you don't want to share, just shake your head, and we'll move on to the next person. Okay? Brian, you want to share?
Take the spotlight off.
Oh yes, thank you for reminding me.
Y'all have seen enough of me.
All right, Brian, you're on deck. Or you're at the plate.
At the plate, okay. Am I gonna go full screen? Or are you gonna be just little?
You're full screen on mine.
Yep. As long as you're talking.
Okay. So this is a little mahogany box that I made. A little pyrography on the side, top and the sides.
Nice.
Gee, I wonder where I saw that before.
Facebook.
Yeah.
And then a little Norfolk Island pine vase. Just finished that today. Yeah. Got the date on it here. We're not going to sell it.
All right.
That's it for me.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to mute you now. Ronald Bowser? Nothing, all right. David? Okay. Ozzy, you got anything?
Yes, I made a little lidded box as well. This is the second one I turned. I was trying to figure out how to do the lid where it actually clicks in. So it's more, I did it with like food safe finish. So I guess it's like a little salt pot. And I did a little bit of like, it's hard to tell, and there's like the little rings on the lid. And I also made another one that I took pictures of because as soon as my wife shared it, somebody bought it, and what I did is I inserted a piece of resin, a hybrid resin piece into the top, and made like a little jewelry box or trinket box, and we shared it online, and somebody bought it already. So I took pictures, so I'll send them to Brian so you guys could see it later. So it's just the first two boxes I try to make.
Not bad. Good job. Jim and Linda? Okay. Michael? All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is, I'm in my RV. I'm up in Lake Yale, and I have a lot of heavy things to drink. So we made these little drink holders that are 12-part segmented maple. Can you see the parts there?
Yep.
With a little base
wow,
on it,
yeah.
so it's a little wider bottom. And like Ralph, I drill a hole with a Forstner bit. But before I go past that, I put my little brand in there, and it's finished in wipe-on poly.
Nice.
What do you got in those drinks, Mike?
Ralph, I had to have something to watch you for this whole time. It helped.
Yeah, but I heard, you said you.
Very good, Ralph. Very good.
They got rules up there.
I'm working at disaster relief up here. This is on the other side. We're preparing all our stuff for the next storm. So
Oh, okay.
that's what I've been doing.
Well, what you need to do is fix that, get all that stuff set up good, and then make sure that the storm doesn't come here.
That's our hope.
Yes, thank you. We're all hoping.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Okay.
Joe? Okay. Pat? Danny? No, okay. Don? Okay. Bob?
No.
Mr. Piper?
Nope.
Roberto?
Yes, I have, can you hear me? I have several pieces here. So, some of them were pieces that have been, that I had started, but for different reasons, I never finished. So let me go back so that you can show you. This is a mahogany ball. I don't know whether you can see this, but it completely split here. Okay, so has been sitting in my garage for quite a few months until I found a way to fix it. So I use epoxy, well, I have now a ball that I thought that it was going to go to the garbage, but I have like a nice Sapodilla ball, right? So, and it's kind of the biggest thing that I can turn with my lathe, I think, with my mini lathe. So another piece that was really challenging was this one, because this is cedar. When I started turning this, I found a lot of structural problems. The wood was kind of rotten, and I had many problems to consolidate it. The wise thing would have been to throw the piece away directly to the garbage, but I decided that it will be kind of a good opportunity to practice some different things. So I don't know whether you can see this, but it has several inlays here, and it has epoxy too. In this case, they are not for decorative purposes. It's mostly because I needed to consolidate actually the wood. I didn't finish it in the inside. I had to use all the techniques that I had to consolidate the wood. So it's not really. I mean, it has tang oil, so I couldn't leave it without any finish so that I could smell it. This is a mahogany ball. Okay, very simple. I just like as it is. It has no tang oil. It has only Danish oil. And I again tried to do something with the bottom. I had a mortise, and I decided to try the again. I have been working on the inlay, so I had quite a few rings to fill in. So I fill it with brass chips, you know, to save material instead of brass powder. There was a lot of let's say space to fill in, and then I added a little bit of blue stone. Okay, so this is another thing. So another thing, this is a very simple ball of mahogany. And here, what I try to do, where I use this ball, I don't know whether you will be able to see. I have my punch letters, so I try to inlay the letters with brass powder. I don't know whether you can read.
Mm-hmm.
Can you read this?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, let me.
Yeah.
So it's like reflected in the mirror.
Made in China.
You see many letters here. You see many letters here. I punch letters, and I punch the bigger side, the letters LOVE. So, and these are the ones that I use brass for the inlay. So you can see kind of love sticking out from the rest of the letters. You know, it's kind of the meaning of the decoration, right? On the other side, you have the same four letters, the same word in Spanish.
So all of these pieces have been sitting in my garage for probably all the school year. I didn't have to work on this. And here the new thing. So this is another lidded box, okay? And I hope that you could hear the pop, you know. I'm starting to use I saw the idea of the visual escape in one video, and I like it, so I'm using it because it helps to, let's say, it helps to make the for visually the continuity of the grain. And last thing that I have, these are really more than pieces or practice pieces, but I was the thing is that I was trying to find an excuse to practice with the skew chisel, okay, to improve my technique. And I'm really fond of old tools, you know. So I found these. These are supposed to be sailor's fits, you know, that were used for rope splicing in the past. This is a very simple tool. I decided not to do any decoration except this little thing here, but it's a silly thing. I decided to make them as smooth as possible. So I'm probably going to do some more as practice pieces to improve my skew, let's say, techniques.
Those are very effective for vampires.
Yeah.
Just in case you find yourself in front of one, you got the tool. Bueno, Roberto, is that it? Or, can we go to the next person, or you have anything else?
I'm done. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. Jim?
No, thank you.
Okay. Paula? Okay, thank you for typing. And Pete? Well, I can't see Pete, so I don't know if Pete wants to or doesn't want to, but I'm going to assume, Pete?
He's undercover.
Well, it just unmuted, so I thought maybe he had something to say. Ralph, you got anything to share?
No.
All right. Well, guys, is there any last things? Because I know that personally, my wife is ready to kill me because she's ready for dinner.
Tell her to go ahead and eat.
She likes to eat with her man.
Jeez.
Hey, Saul, I forgot to show something that I thought everybody would be interested in. Can I take a second?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I wanted to show everybody this. This is the largest resin pour I've done. It's hard to tell what's in here, but there's a block of wood that's burl that I cast. This is actually a pound of resin.
Oh.
This thing is insane. It's going to be a box, but it is super heavy, and it's amazing how the resin behaved and didn't crack or anything. I thought it'd be interesting to see. Hopefully by next meeting it'll be ready so you guys can see how it looks with the combination.
Oh, awesome. I look forward to that. Thank you. All right. Anything else, guys?
No.
All right, Ralph, shall we call it?
I guess so.
All right, guys. As always, thank you for participating and for sharing. And thank you, Ralph. I know you'd rarely do these demos, so it's nice that you came and did it. So
Yeah.
thank you. And I'm going to end it. And I think it should hang up everybody. All right? Guys,
Yeah,
be safe and have a good evening and take care of your
Anybody,
family.
wants to do a demo, we need to hear from you.
All right. Good night, guys.
All right.
Thank you, Sol. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you, Saul.
Thank you, Ralph. Thank you.